This is supposedly the newer M7960 turbo from Tomei, and we're one of the first ones to get it. So let me just unpackage it and show you guys what it looks like and what's different from the older version. It's been sitting here for like 2 days, but I just didn't have time to do it. So let me just unbox this and show you what it looks like. Thanks to Tomei. So right away I noticed it's a different box. It looks different. Pretty simple design. So we got two, but I'm gonna bring this inside of the shop and show you guys in detail, better lighting and everything. So, all right, guys. I don't know how this is gonna come out, but I'm gonna do my best to just unbox it just by myself. So again, it's a different box, and it is labeled differently. It is MX7960, so it's not just M7960, so it's called MX. So there's extra X in there. We get amazed every time we see this packaging. They include everything pretty much. Nice stickers you can put on, which is just extra horsepower, you know, like some people say. Yeah, so everything's in Japanese, so I'm just trying to figure this out in English. But it has a different billet compressor, and supposedly it makes different power. You could make more power, and also you have adjustability of the boost, I was told. So it'll have like a different actuator springs. So keep it in mind, this is my first time ever unboxing this. So I could be wrong on some parts, but I'll correct it on the next videos. But small box, we usually see it's also separate. All the accessories and whatever you need to do, whatever you need to complete the install, it's all in here. Includes nice Tomei emblem as well. This is always extra. I think it's a little bit different than what we used to get. But what I noticed right off the bat is they include these springs. So these will go in the actuator, so you could change how much boost you could play with. So the advantage as a tuner having this is I don't have to rely on the ECU to control the boost. Meaning you could be out of limp mode the whole time unless it's something like critical and the ECU has to shut down the car, which you need. Limp mode is not always the bad thing. But people actually have issues with like overboosting, all that stuff. It's gonna be a lot easier if you could just bypass the boost control part of it on the side. So if it's just gonna be relying on the actuator, it's gonna be solid every time, pretty much. So it's nice that they include everything. This on the side. Again, they always include everything, even little paste you can put in. It's like anti-seize stuff, and they work great. Vacuum line, also the heat protector for the oil feed line. They used to include this one in blue, but it's just changed the color. No biggie. And I see these things are actually the same. I see the oil feed line. Might be a little bit shorter than before, I don't know. But enough length to just compensate everything, both for BK1 and BK2. Cool lines, which is really cool. Cool line, which is really cool, is that you need all this brass washers and stuff like that. We just did the Evo kit, and you know, like people are having issues with like leaking coil lines and all that stuff. And some of the kits actually make you to reuse the stock coil lines or return lines, and they tend to have either bad gaskets or crush washers. So you never want to reuse them, and they include everything. And here's a little nipple that was never in there before from M7960. Yet again, they include everything, even the studs, nuts, gaskets, all metal gaskets. I never seen these fail before, unless, you know, it's up to the installer too. If you take it to somebody that have no idea what they're doing, of course you could run into issues, but trust me, if they're done right, these things will last forever. Also, I actually said this before in past videos, but like if you're upgrading the turbo, which is bigger than stock, it usually makes more heat. So it is a good idea to invest it on oil cooler or some sort to lower the oil temperature, or you have like a gauge hooked up so that when you see like the temperature above certain limitation, you just kind of let off and cool down the car or something. But the oil cooler is actually always a good idea when you have a bigger turbo. When I see somebody actually complain about like Tomei turbo like dying, Tomei turbo failing and all that stuff. But honestly, for me, we never seen it before. If it's all taken care of nicely, and also you need an oil cooler. So Tomei did actually replace it without a question. So if anything goes wrong, they'll actually replace it without a question. But you still want to make sure that, again, like it's installed properly first. You also have other support mods for it. So here's the limited warranty registration. So you can literally register your turbo online with the serial number, and it's going to be different per turbo. Some companies have same serial numbers for all their products. Like it's not the case. This turbo looks definitely different. So let me get you a better angle for this one after unwrapping this. Alright, so here's the first look of Tomei's ARMS MX7960 for Hyundai Jet Scoop 2.0. If you're doing this on the BK2, you'll just have to get the BK1 manifold and the O2 housing, and you'll be able to fit it in your vehicle for BK2 2.0. I do not see much of difference other than the label up here. I could be wrong again. I don't have the M7960 here to compare it, but from my experience, they look very, very similar. However, compressor wheels are supposedly different and billet, and the main difference is the actuator I was talking about. So here's the actuator that's adjustable. So basically you could undo this and insert those springs I showed you earlier to change the boost level. So you don't need the manual boost controller or anything like that. You don't have to reference anything to control by the ECU and solenoid, which is a huge advantage over the previous model. Previous model was still solid, don't get me wrong. It did have some adjustability, but this is a game changer just with different springs just provided. So for the install and some of the pictures or videos after installed, I'll have it by next week, as we are installing 2 of these turbos coming week. 8 out of 10 cars that have leak, turbo issues, whatever, by the install is the return line, and this will prevent it from having faulty gaskets or anything getting kinked. And I can't wait to see what it makes on the dyno, and I'm loving the fact that it has adjustability once again. So yeah, I'll show all the results and stuff like that next week. I'm not gonna go push the first car because it's just gonna be the customer actually has a blown turbo and he doesn't want to like go too crazy, so we're just gonna probably go with the preload spring or maybe add a little bit more, and I want to just kind of play with it. Second car we might be pushing a little bit more, and I'll show you all the results. And we have all the M7960 results saved on our dyno, so we could probably have a good comparison. They already have the preload set, but if you want to change the preload, it tells you everything. Everything on the instructions tell you everything. It's really detailed in the instructions, so I like it. Also, the changing the spring and the boost pressure, it shows what color it adds, how much, and what goes in, middle and outer. So definitely right now it's set at 1 bar, which is about 1422 psi. So that's usually what you want to be at. I used to add the manual boost controller or just play with the preload and try to shoot for about 17 pounds. So now we don't have to do that and just add another, for instance, let's say you want to do 1.5 bar, which is about 22 pounds. Then you add black one, which is 0.2 bar. Purple one, which is 0.6 bar in the middle, and you put another blue on outer, so 0.75 bar adds up to 1.55 bar and makes 22 pounds. So you have adjustability from literally about 2.8 psi to 29 psi, which is amazing. And I'll show you how to change it. Didn't want to give out some raw information, so I spoke to Eiji-san at Tomei USA, and basically he's saying that two big improvements on the MX Turbo. It has a new building actuator that I talked about, has a different range of springs included, more stable power, pulling rear performance turbo. It's got more stable power. Obviously, it controls the boost better by having a stiffer spring for that. And you could just add slight more boost on top with the boost controller of some sort. But it's like having the blow valve that will open up at 4 psi and you're pushing 20 pounds. It's just not going to work. Same thing, if you're shooting for like 18 pounds, you want the spring to be at least 14 to 15. So now you have adjustability. It's going to be a lot easier for you to control the target boost. The second, which is I think is the most important thing as far as the change goes, is the billet compressor wheel. So it's lighter, so it'll give you a better spool and also efficient air volume for more power. So there's we just ordered one more for another customer up in Canada. So it's a CNC billet compressor wheel. It's actually it has a lot more. It has an improvement over the traditional cast compressor wheels. It's also aerospace grade material, and it's durable, lightweight compressor, and then thinner blades with a larger surface area for significant improvement airflow and the turbo spool. So I'm excited to see what this will put down on the dyno. You'll have to stick around for probably Friday or this weekend for some desserts. The traditional cast is 70.5 gram. Billet is 57.5 gram. I don't know what it is in ounce, but obviously it's a big difference. Again, like you could mix and match all the springs for the desired boost, and which is an upgrade. And they actually just start pushing it for different platforms too. So yeah, looks nice. So that was my unboxing video for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm just gonna send him this video, let him know that install's done. We're gonna probably put the BK2 injectors on this and tune it.